Hello guys, someone has sent me this today. I'm doing this something new here for my phone. I just want to see how it turns out. I don't know how it's going to turn out on the screen of YouTube, but we're going to try it out nonetheless. Supreme Court will decide whether police can enter a home to seize guns without a warrant. Now this is super dangerous. The cops have already been doing this for years and years. The Supreme Court has already ruled that they can enter the home for certain things, such as, if they see in this article, to give us an example of if they see a person getting ready to stab someone else, they can enter the home without a warrant. If they see someone falling over from a heart attack, they can enter the home without a warrant. It goes on to talk about this, and it also talks about past cases that the Supreme Court has ruled on about this. What we're going to lead to eventually is that, especially with everything going on today, is that they can enter your home no matter what. Realistically, they can enter your home now for no reason. The Supreme Court has found that they can actually enter your home to collect evidence if they believe that that evidence will be destroyed for one reason or the other. I don't agree with any of it. I think that if I'm in my home and somebody is trying to stab me, it's my personal responsibility to defend myself, and if help is needed after the fact, then I should call. What if you're in your home doing I know it sounds far-fetched, but we just seen somebody this week play a prank on somebody and get killed. What if you are doing a skit for a college class in your home, and there's a murder scene, and a cop happens to be walking by on the street and sees a man holding a knife up to somebody else, and they're just playing a skit. He doesn't see the cameras in the corner of the room. He shoots through the window, and he kills the actor, which, I know that's a not very probable, but still. So it says the vigorous debate about whether the community care exception is what this is called. When I get skipped over a part. They give an example of there was guns in a trunk of a car. The trunk was in the police. The police had possession of the car, but they wanted to get the guns out of the car, just in case somebody broke into the car at the impound lot. And that's called the community care. It's when the police do something in care of the community to make sure that the community is safer, of course. It's always about safety. This says the vigorous debate about whether a community care exception can apply to searches of a person's home as well as their cars. Vehicles have always had less Fourth Amendment protection than homes, which are considered a person's most private sphere. My most private sphere is anywhere that I'm at, guys. I don't know about you. Federal courts have been divided on this question, and the Supreme Court has not ruled on it until now. The court just announced that it will hear arguments next month on the case that presents this issue. I'm not going to butcher that name. You can see it. I guess I'll try to butcher it. Caniglia versus Strom. In this case, Mr. Caniglia was arguing with his wife and melodramatically put an unloaded gun on the table and said, "Just shoot me and get it over with." His wife called a non-emergency number for the police, who arrived shortly thereafter. The police disagreed about whether I can't say it, I'm sorry, Caniglia, I can't say it, was acting normal or agitated, but they convinced him to take an ambulance ride to the local hospital for evaluation. The police did not accompany him. While he was on his way to the hospital, Mrs. C, that's what I'll call her from now on, told the police that her husband kept 2 handguns in the home. The police decided to search the home for the guns without obtaining a warrant. Mrs. C consent to have the police search their home was legally negated because the police untruthfully told her that her husband had consented to the seizure of any guns. The police located and seized 2 guns. Mr. C sued for the violation of his Fourth Amendment right to privacy and his Second Amendment right to keep handguns in the home for self-protection. The First Circuit Court of Appeals, which is the federal court just below the Supreme Court in C's jurisdiction, sided with the police. The court wrote, now listen to what they say here. This is scary shit. At its core, the community caretaking doctrine is designed to give police elbow room to take appropriate action when unforeseen circumstances present some transient hazard that requires immediate attention. Understanding the core purpose of the doctrine leads inexplicably to the conclusion that it should not be limited to the motor vehicle context. Threats to individual and community safety are not confined to the highways. I'll leave the links so you guys can go ahead and read this full article. My thought on that is this: government has no purpose, no business in domestic situations. The government's responsibility is not to keep me safe; it's to protect my rights. It has far stepped outside of the bounds we have placed on it. The only way we can fix this is by enforcing our Constitution, which, of course, we talked about this before. They've made enforcing the Constitution illegal. This is only going to continue to get worse, and most people will not care until it affects them directly. And I assure you, at some time, it will affect you directly. Soon they will be given out. And I know it doesn't sound feasible in this country. I mean, after all, we are the freest country in the world, right? But pretty soon they'll be giving out rewards for mothers and daughters to turn in brothers and husbands who own firearms, just to get the firearms out of the dangerous people's hands, of course, because everybody is a domestic terrorist. They're turning the white man into a domestic terrorist specifically, but it will be all men. Even my black friends that are freedom lovers will soon be labeled as domestic terrorists. This will be the excuse to violate our rights at will, thinking and knowing that the rest of this society will not care because it's not them directly having their rights violated. The problem with this country is, number one, sacrifice. Number two, we are too ignorant about the facts to understand that if I allow a violation to you, I'm allowing it to myself, because I am possibly the next in line. Take care, people. I'll leave the link in the description. Please go read it.